2,000 dangerous Deathworlders landed on Earth's dangerous zone. Only 5 returned. Commander Thex Vor of the Vanguard Expeditionary Force had conquered 17 Deathworlds in his career. His species, the Korath, were apex predators from Kepler 438b, a world where the rain was sulfuric acid, the predators breathed fire, and the plants actively hunted anything with a circulatory system. They were considered the galaxy's premier Deathworld specialists, capable of surviving in environments that would kill most species within minutes. When the Galactic Survey Corps discovered Earth, they classified it as a Category 9 Deathworld, barely habitable, with dangerous atmospheric composition and unstable tectonic activity. The humans living there were presumed to be a hardy but primitive species, adapted to their hostile environment through millennia of survival. The Corps needed mineral samples from Earth's most dangerous region, a zone the human locals called Australia. 2,000 Korath warriors should be more than sufficient, Thex Vor had assured the mission planners. We'll establish a perimeter, collect samples, and evacuate within 72 standard hours. These humans pose no threat, our briefings indicate they're barely past their stone age. Now, 17 days later, Thex Vor crouched behind a boulder that was moving, trying to understand how his elite force had been reduced to 5 survivors by what the humans dismissively called Tuesday. It had started going wrong the moment they landed. "Sir," his scout Kextal had reported, his mandibles clicking with confusion. "The local fauna, it doesn't make sense. I've detected a creature that appears to be a simple jumping mammal, but my thermal readings suggest it could disembowel our entire squad." "Impossible," Thex Vor had replied. "Show me." The creature in question looked harmless enough, a bipedal marsupial, roughly 1.5 meters tall, with powerful hind legs. Then it had noticed their presence. The subsequent massacre had taken 3 minutes. 3 Korath warriors, each capable of wrestling a plasma bear to death, were systematically dismantled by something the humans called a kangaroo. Apparently, it had been having a bad day. That was when they'd met their first human. "Day, mates," the creature had called out cheerfully, wandering into their defensive position wearing nothing but brief cloth coverings and carrying a long-necked bottle. "You blokes look like you're having a rough time. First visit to Oz." The human appeared completely unarmed and utterly relaxed, despite being surrounded by alien warriors in full combat armor. Thex Vor's tactical analysis suggested the creature was either supremely confident or completely insane. "Stay back, human," Thex Vor had warned, raising his plasma rifle. "We are Korath Deathworld specialists. Do not interfere with our mission." The human, who introduced himself as Dave, had laughed. Actually laughed. Deathworld specialists? In Australia? He'd taken a swig from his bottle and gestured casually at the landscape. "Mate, you picked the wrong continent for that resume." What followed was 17 days of educational horror. Dave, it turned out, lived in Australia not because he was adapted to a hostile environment, but because he found it pretty relaxed, honestly. He commuted to work past crocodiles that could bite through starship hulls. He jogged alongside spiders the size of dinner plates. He had barbecues in areas where the local plants literally tried to kill him. "See that tree there?" Dave had pointed out on day 3, just before they'd lost another squad to something he called a drop bear. "That's a eucalyptus. Highly flammable, full of toxic oil, and it actually needs bushfires to reproduce. The whole forest is basically a ticking time bomb, but the worst part wasn't the fauna. It was watching Dave treat everything like a minor inconvenience. "Yeah, that's just a taipan," he'd said casually, stepping over a serpent that could kill 50 Korath with a single bite. "They're pretty shy, usually. Unless you step on them. Then they get a bit cranky." Now, on day 17, Thex Vor was receiving evacuation orders from his superiors. His mission report would have to explain how 2,000 elite Deathworld specialists had been defeated not by hostile aliens, but by local wildlife that the indigenous humans considered part of the charm. Dave, he called out to the human who had somehow become their unofficial guide and protector. "How do your people survive here?" Dave looked genuinely puzzled by the question. "Survive? Mate, this is the easy part of the planet. Wait till you see what lives in the deep ocean." Thexvor made a mental note to update Earth's classification from Category 9 Deathworld to something requiring an entirely new scale. As their evacuation shuttle lifted off, he caught Dave waving goodbye while casually fending off something that looked like a cross between a spider and a nightmare. The human